Okay, that's enough certifications. That's a save. And what do you want to do? We could explore... Exploring...
Can we see what the...
Here, let's do a
that
paralogue.
is?
Because this is... that's good for the next couple months, but we might as well get it out of the way.
Or, I thought that we're in the same year. Aren't we in the year 22?
Oh.
Or, no. That's 524.
Yeah. Let's do it anyway.
Yeah. I want to see what's up with Hilda and her... What the wars with the Almirans.
I am grateful.
Oh, that's interesting. Notice how the gifts have been changing around? Well, the gifts are to a lot of the Yellow Deer
Hey,
faction.
Professor. I might have to go back home for a little while.
Oh, right. Is someone in your family sick?
Oh no, nothing like that. The Almiran forces are causing trouble at Fódlan's Locket. Oh, do you know where that is? Well, the mountain range that separates the Alliance from Almira is called Fódlan's Throat. There's a fortress right on top of the throat, and they call that Fódlan's Locket.
So you're going to help defend it?
Well, yeah, you could say that. I'm sure my brother would be able to handle them on his own. But he said he really wants me to help out. I guess he's a bit tired out from all his hard work. Anyway, our dad's not as sprightly as he used to be. He's not up for a fight. Apparently it would look bad if we left it to the retainers. I really, really don't want to go, but I guess I have to.
Hey, Hilda. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I heard you talking.
Oh, what's up, Cyril?
You're gonna fight the Almirans, yeah?
Yes, but it's nothing you need to worry about, Cyril.
It's not that. I was just wondering if maybe I could go along with you.
But you'd be fighting people from your homeland. Do you really want to do that?
None of them would remember me anyway. It's just that I got captured in the battle at the Locket, and that's how I ended up here. So I'm kind of worried that other kids who lose their folks might not be so lucky.
What do you mean?
Before Lady Rhea took me in, I had a real hard time as a servant of House Goneril.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it's not like I'll go around snapping up Almiran children.
That's good, but I want to see things for myself, so I know that everything's okay.
Well then, let's go together. Oh, would you want to join us, Professor? My brother will be there, but I'm a little scared about fighting all those fierce Almirans.
If you could come too, it'd be really great. We'd all feel way safer if you did.
She's from House Goneril, though.
Yep.
So they were taking children?
Apparently.
Great! I know we'll be okay if you're there. Let's head out right away.
I'll go and get ready too.
People have been asking if he's always used slang. Yeah, he tends to shorten his speech.
Yeah.
Well, to abbreviate. How would you put it?
And look at all those cool, like,
He does the
pixel
Ghana
headpieces.
and-
I gotta talk about this. Look at all those cool helmets that are implied by all those sprites that our characters never wear.
Oh yes, I would definitely love the armor helmets. Well, the armored helms. Would they be referred to as well? Probably.
She's a sword master now, so bring her along. We can bring Ash along. We need some levels here. And do we bring them along? Or do we work on the other characters? I guess easy answer is let's see, who's not level 20 yet? Bernadetta. You could use some friend time. And Lorenz. Because Lorenz and Hilda are hilarious. Okay. What do we got here? Big monster. Big monsters, big map. Holy, okay, we might want to rethink this a little. Because I think this is the brother, yeah? Gunneral soldier, gunneral soldier.
I don't see her brother,
Gunneral soldiers.
though. Let's see.
Ballista.
Wait, are you in the crazy set of armor?
Me? Yeah, I'm there. Okay, so we might want to rethink this a little bit. Units. Let's see.
That was the one that had the very high collar, correct?
Leone. Yeah. I have Leone. Let's leave Raphael for the time being and grab Leone. Because Ingrid can't rank up yet. I think she needs more training. I don't think Sylvain... Next time we have certification access, we should look at what Ingrid and Sylvain need. Okay, but yeah, we need Leone if only because of movement speed. Let's see. Probably good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping we get to meet the brother, but maybe that's something that we do after the fact.
He might arrive at the end of the conflict.
True.
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch.
Probably to congratulate Hilda on having successfully led a force against their enemies.
I was hoping for some C rank battalions here.
Come back.
Okay. Begin the fight. Yes.
Most of our allies have fallen. My big brother and I can probably handle this, though.
Hilda, glad you made it. Lord Holst has been afflicted with a sudden illness and couldn't come.
He's not here? Oh, I'm sorry. You must have been absolutely terrified. It's okay, though. I brought along someone who can definitely help us. That's you, Professor. Please help us save our allies and protect Fódlan's Locket.
A Myron army is approaching. Do not allow them to capture the defended location. Earn rewards based on how many gunneral soldiers you rescue.
So...
Good thing I knew about this back road, huh? We ought to be able to help our friends from here.
Can't let them onto those 5 squares, and there's also soldiers scattered about the map.
Ready when you are.
I wish
Probably-
I'd been paying attention. I would have put Claude back here. You know what?
You're gonna...
We're gonna retreat. Just the beginning of the for the previous save. And I'm gonna move Claude and Leone back there instead.
I see.
Because I have 2 of my archers there, and my glass cannon that hurts herself. Which is not something.
How does she harm herself again?
So
there a
Dorothea has the staff that makes it so she does damage to herself. Whenever
One of the
she
demonic
nukes
staves?
something. Which is great, as long as she has ample, like, defense or healing support.
Did you make sure that they were compatible with their crests?
What?
The ancient weapons.
Yeah. Where the heck is Leone? Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Heck is Leone? Oh, there she is. Let's switch Ash out for her, because she can self-heal. Okay, is that good? Kind of awkward. Mostly casters here, but that's fine. Let's see, do you mean Thyrsis? That's a thing for Lysithea. It makes her OP. I gave it to Dorothea so she could space laser.
Right, but is it... Dorothea doesn't have a crest. Have you ever thought to look at the items and see what crests they...
Crest?
Yeah, Crest of Gloucester, see? You want to give that to either Lorenz or Lysithea. She could be damaged because she is wielding something that doesn't have a crest.
Except for she doesn't have the crest of House Gloucester, though.
I thought she did.
Oh. Oh.
Do you remember she has 2 crests? Doesn't she have...
Oh, yeah, she does.
Major Gloucester and minor for another class.
Okay.
Or...
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that, I guess. Alright,
And then what about the other item that you received? It was a staff, wasn't it?
Raises magical. There's the catechist, but that's absolutely for flame.
Right, because it's Deathland.
So units without a that wield a relic without a crest take 10 damage a turn. I just figured that was a feature because I wasn't thinking that hard.
We've already established that people who wield one of those relics without having the crest, they get turned into monsters.
I'm so used to the special weapons being usable by anybody every way.
No,
look,
that's why the crest system is so important.
Yeah.
That's why everyone's been intentionally breeding it into their noble families. They want to be able to wield these weapons.
Okay, what do we give her? Crit rate or protection? Protection. Got the march ring for speed. Okay, we haven't given him anything, but that's probably fine. I don't think we have anything else that we need to worry about. Okay, so now that we fixed that, fight.
Most of our allies have fallen.
Hilda.
It's okay. That's you.
Good thing I knew.
Who, me?
Let's see. Put her there.
Stay focused.
Have him go there.
I will get the victory.
I'll give it my all.
Flyer is coming in
Leave it to me.
fast.
Will it primarily keep to the streets, or will it have the ability to
No, it
fly
can go
over the
straight
chasm?
over
Press
everything.
away.
Then you might not want to move all of your units clear
That's
away
my
from
cue.
the line, but
They're gonna attack me first.
mm-hmm.
I should be fine. Oh, right, I totally forgot about the people in the back. Well,
Oh yeah, we need to protect those knights too. Oh,
fine. It doesn't look like these guys are capable of even hurting the Goneril.
the Goneril seem pretty formidable. Most of them are in heavy armor and such. That
It's the least
would
I
make
could do.
sense why Hilda had an affinity for it.
What if you gave
They say-
Ignatz the crit ring? No, that's a good point. I am glad I gave her that shield.
Well, it's nice that they actually modeled it so that they would equip it.
Yeah. Hand axes have always amused me
Ooh, nice.
in these games. Yeah, those Goneril soldiers don't really seem like they need a whole lot of help. I mean, I'm sure they do, but
They've actually been able to fell some of their own enemies.
Ready when you are. Ready and willing.
let's see. And have them run that way.
Let's get to it.
Or run. Ooh. Got the training lance.
Here we go.
Okay. Hilda. Actually,
Oh,
No.
there's the archer next to you too.
yep. I know. Archer's not really a problem.
We're saved.
I love that she's still using the wooden axe and utterly
Oh,
destroying
You
with it.
lost to me?
Let's see.
Don't expect much more than that.
So are the accessories modeled? Some yes, some no. It varies a little bit. Let's see.
I don't think any of the trinkets would be, but if they did put the effort to
Yes.
do so, that would be interesting.
So I don't think rings are. She has a ring on her finger.
But is that because of the dancer's garb? If you notice, she has gloves.
Yeah, that's a good
Growth
point.
is a
Nope,
part of
don't look
life.
like it. Okay. Let's see. Seraphim. That's not as good as I was hoping it would be. Nor that. Or that. Obviously not that. Or that. I mean, her range is great.
Interesting how there was an attack called Hades. Now, when was Hades going to be a complete game as opposed to just an early access one?
Unknown.
We're just going to keep working on it, fine-tuning it.
Let's see. I think they wanted to have it done sometime by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. I know that much of it was just additional art assets.
No, they've been adding a lot more. I get regular calls from people being like, Water, play this again, and I'm like, I will someday. Because I really, like, do want to.
Well, you have series like this that have a definitive end.
Yeah.
You can only reach it.
It's-
Whereas roguelikes, you can
Well-
have episodes here and there of it whenever you want to play.
In Hades' case, though, it actually absolutely has, like, an end. They just haven't put it in the game yet.
I'll prove myself. Yeah! I must steel myself.
But yeah, I will gladly play Hades again when it's, like, complete done.
So far left to go.
It's just, like, it's very hard for me to play a game that gets regular updates every, like,
skill
couple
is
of weeks.
impressive.
And, like,
Because
they
then
add...
people ask for you to play it with every update.
Yeah.
Even though it's a... I would wait for a number of updates to come out and then play it after there's been enough to actually make the experience different.
A chance to grow.
Yeah.
Not so fast.
Because it's one of those where it's like, I can cover every update, and if it's a game that's getting, like, stupid amounts of views every time I cover it, but, like, it's also one of those where I have, like, 30 episodes on Hades, and it's like, I don't think that, like, people are underserved by the amount of content I've produced for that
I
game.
call that a win.
Ooh, that soldier. Ooh.
Okay, good.
But then the wyvern retreated, or the wyvern.
Oh, it's going for
as we
Hilda.
pronounce
Why
it.
are you going for Hilda, you dumb bird? Oh, stop. Kill stealing bastards.
Seeing those guys decked out in armor reminds me of the Renaissance Festival that we would attend every year. And it was interesting
Should I
because
have held back?
for their jousting matches, initially they would have just 2 knights. But then they increased the number to 4, and they pretended that they were 4 different noble houses, or they would pair them off so that there was a team. But I've noticed that lately they've been following a similar script where all of the knights are unruly, and after they've been hit off their horses, when they have a brawling segment, because aside from the jousts themselves, there was also weapons combat, and they had an array of weapons at their disposal. I think they had swords, maces. I think maybe there was a ball and chain at one point. It was interesting, but they would always brawl, and it's interesting how slowly they move. I always thought that depictions of knights that we have them as quite swift warriors. I could only imagine that the armor would be heavy.
It's apparently not.
It's, yeah.
Like, apparently the distribution on armor was, like... so I was reading about this, and there are straight-up stories of, like, knights climbing ladders purely with their arms on the underside of the ladders during a siege, just to show off. Which is nuts. And, like... yeah, apparently, well-crafted armor you can straight up just, like, waltz around in. I think the only issue is heat.
Oh, definitely. Because underneath that armor, they were usually wearing any combination of very heavy padding, leather, chainmail, whole host of things.
Hard work created.
And after jousting, the guys were always sweating profusely. But they've had the Scottish announcer, if you will. Whoever presided over the event, they would always defer to
The fight continues.
Queen
learn from
Elizabeth.
such
They actually
things.
had an actress who's, I think she's portrayed Queen Elizabeth for several years at this point. And they have this Scotsman announcer, and I believe he's always been the one the last several years to end the conflict. He essentially calls out the knights for being contrary to their vows of chivalry by using underhanded tactics. Eventually, they were just picking up barrels and smashing each other over the heads with them. It was hilarious. But I think they even did some of those jokes where they're kicking each other's cod pieces, and it was just for laughs. But he would bring out a single shot pistol and shoot it into the air.
I actually managed to save this guy. I thought that was actually not possible.
Ooh.
As long as the NPC doesn't commit honorable Sudoku there. Please don't. Okay, good. Hand axe.
I think I'd mentioned how I'd actually seen one of the jousters at the fabric store that I'd worked at briefly years ago. I was like, hey, you're one of the jousters for the Sterling Renaissance Festival.
It's fate.
And they were actually purchasing fabric for a stall or another convention. Because these guys actually travel to different Renaissance festivals all throughout the summer. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how one would go about becoming a professional jouster. Probably
I think you end up actually
horsemanship.
work. I mean,
Huh?
it's like a lot of. I'm not going to say entry level jobs, but I think it's one of those where you absolutely start as something else first.
Mm-hmm. But obviously, one must be a capable horseman to be a jouster. There have been a couple of years where the horses are less than enthused to joust. I think there had been one year where a horse was... I don't know if it had a burr under its saddle or if it was just irate, but it actually ended up bucking one of the knights off. But I think that's in part why they've been having 4 knights rather than 2. It's to ensure that in the instance that one of the horses isn't feeling well for the day or there's an incident, then they...
We did it somehow. Cyril, Professor, thank you.
You bet.
I'm gonna drop by my family's estate and complain to my brother a bit. You two should head back.
Rescued everybody. We get a Hexlock shield.
Ooh.
Hello. Ooh. Protection and resilience. So that's actually really good for somebody that's weak against full magic.
Would that be good for Hilda? Who else would require a shield?
It'd be overkill on Hilda. I'd actually say that's probably really good on Raphael.
I see. I just never liked the appearance of her shield, and I wonder if it would change if you had equipped her with another one.
That's an interesting question. I gotta check over some battalions after this.
My
you so much.
They aren't really trying to cross Fódlan's throat. I'm not saying they're not serious, but fights like this one aren't really invasions.
And what are they doing?
They just start fights like this sometimes. It's so they can show off how strong they are. I think it's pretty dumb. I mean, people are getting killed. And why? So some guy can think he's tough? After every fight, they do a big feast and everybody eats and dances and there's music. It's supposed to honor the dead, but I figure they just like to make noise. I think they're all idiots, but if I'm real honest, it wasn't the worst way to live life.
Wait a minute. So the Elmirans are
Vikings.
initiating these disputes just for honor and glory?
Yeah. I wish the different, like, non-Fódlan, like, armies actually had a completely different, like, visual design to them. It's
No,
like, how
that's
cool
true.
would it be if all of them were Viking-y? I don't know.
I don't know. I always imagined Elmira to be. I mean, I don't know if. I suppose Brigid's people. They're islanders.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not familiar with what Elmira would be, but they could be. They didn't seem to be a nomadic culture. Well, who knows? Oh, Wander's having a cherry.
I mean, judging by the complexion, Middle Eastern or, like, Indian area?
Potentially.
Yeah.
But they probably aren't necessarily sticking to Earth.
Yeah, they kind of are. Because very clearly, like, Petra is definitely, like, maybe not more tribalistic, but definitely more like hunter-gatherer society in origin, whereas, like, all of the people in Fódlan are very white and very European. But I don't know. Anyway.
It always makes me sad that... I suppose that the reason why I really like high fantasy is because you can get some really unique designs. Everything isn't just
Humans.
traditional castles and traditional villages with particular trademark sculptures and architectural styles. Because the interior of the castle does look very gothic,
Yeah.
and I always wish that they push the letter a little bit
Yeah.
so that it's
just a
not
bit.
something recognizable.
Anyway, feeling homesick?
Nah, I'm where I belong now, and I don't really like Elmira. If they want to show how tough they are, then they ought to look after kids who've lost their parents.
Whew, I'm tired. Professor, Cyril, thanks for all your help.
You get a chance to see your brother?
I did, though I think I'd be better off otherwise. He was horribly ill, for one thing. He looked so pale and haggard. Apparently, he'd eaten a bad mushroom before the battle, and it made him horribly sick. What an idiot. Anyway, when I told him we'd handled the Elmiran situation, he was just gushing with praise. I tried telling him that it wasn't all me, but he didn't even listen.
Weren't you glad to get praise from your brother?
That did feel pretty good, I'll admit. But then things got awkward. He started trying to pawn off his whole inheritance. I told him I wanted none of it. Eventually, he settled for foisting this thing on me. Do you know what it is?
One heck of an axe.
Ah.
He gave it to you?
Yes, it's a magic axe called Freikugel. It's the hero's relic of House Goneril. He said that I should have it, since the crest I bear will allow me to wield it. He was so insistent, I eventually relented. But I don't think I can be responsible for something so precious. Hey, Professor, why don't you take it instead?
You should keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Heroes' relics contain terrifying power. They're beyond the capabilities of a novice like me. You're the only person I trust to take care of it. Please, help me out here.
If you're sure.
Thank you so much. I honestly didn't know what I was going to do with this thing. A big, scary axe is not my style. Plus, look closely. Parts of the axe are pulsating like it's alive. How gross is that? But I'll use it if you tell me to, Professor. Or you could get somebody else to wield it if you like. It's all up to you now.
We're just gonna re-equip it on her.
That Hilda, she really is something.
I mean, I'm probably just going to have it sit around in my convoy until the last mission, at which point then she busts it out. Anyway,
Wait a minute, but you have weapons on other characters. Like Lysithea has one of the relics. Why aren't you gonna give her?
Durability.
What about durability? Are they getting damaged?
Yeah. So, Lysithea's staff has no durability because it's an accessory.
Oh.
Freikugel will break.
No.
Which is why I never use them. Ever. Which is why, if you've noticed, I've only used the Sword of the Creator once. I believe.
I would think that the relics would be impervious to things like that.
You'd think.
If they're
Okay.
these living artifacts that have survived hundreds of years, if not over 1,000. Really, that number is dependent on when Seiros and that initial war began.
How are we doing on my class? Light one. Do we? Yeah.
Is this just a basic fight?
Yeah,
at
it's
the
just a
moment?
basic fight against big monsters.
Ah.
I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. Let's see. Where's Bernadetta? Perfect. Will the master to her class yet? No. That'd not be a bad idea. Okay, let's bring... Seeing as we can have 2 adjutants, we might as well help power level
Fire
the
Emblem
Wrens.
Heroes. What's Fire Emblem Heroes? Is it a...
It's the mobile games.
Oh. Do they collect characters from all of their titles? Maybe the most popular ones?
Yeah, well, it's like a gacha game, so they actually just jam in, like, every character. The heck is Lorenz? There he is. For the second, I thought his hair was green. I don't know why.
I think there have been a number of people upset with mobile games that have shut down after they spent so much time grinding for and paying for character unlocks.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of interest in mobile games, especially the big gacha ones. I might want to try like
Stay
Dragalia
focused.
Lost or something at some point,
Who,
because
me?
like I heard that was kind of good.
I still really want to play the mobile, well, the iPad. At least it's available on the iPad or the iPhone and such.
Oh,
The Journey.
well, yeah. At some
one.
point, if we felt like it, I wouldn't mind doing a week where we record Monument Valley. Oh, that guy actually hurt me. Never mind, change of plans.
Wow.
We're gonna go back.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna
When did
just
you
use
last
this as
save?
a class training thing, but these enemies actually do enough damage to hurt me, and they're also going for the beast, which drops an item. So we're just gonna go. We're just gonna grab Claude, Flame, Mercedes, Lysithea. Is that it? Or Raphael gets a bit of the shaft, but
Yeah, you've been using him much lately.
it's because Claude's really good in mobile. Same thing with Leone. He's not bad, but the problem is, like, I'm trying to get Ash and Petra up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because Raphael is pretty good on his own. What's Ash doing? Ash, I mean, honestly, Ash, at this point, I could switch out. I want to get Claude up to 30 if I can. Oh, you know what? Other really boring thing that I should do. Change this out. We have, whoa, Sethlian monks. Not useful. Let's see. But yeah, I'm looking for A rank unit troops.
Ah, I see.
Because if you look at the stats, physical attack +7, hit +15, crit +15, avoid +5, protection +6, resilience +1, and charisma +10. Like just
they have a
having that
charge
as
attack.
a massive stat bonus to any character that you're using. So I want to level those up as much as possible. So the Gloucester Knights are good, because they're all-rounders, so I'll give them to him. Let's see. But if you notice, certain characters don't have a high enough charisma, so they can't use them anyway. In fact, most characters don't. Well, I guess it's not just charisma, it's their, it's the leadership stat. Only the main character has high enough to actually use half of these, which sucks a little bit.
Do you have to train the other ones up in leadership, or?
Yeah.
I see.
The skill specifically is authority. I will just have my main character do it, and at some point people will get up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a bit more authority to command a larger force.
Who, me? Let's get to it.
Ready and willing.
Okay. Items. He's got his axe. We'll be good to go. Where's the danger?
Stay focused.
We've got fire out. That's not so bad.
Here we go.
I'll give it my all.
I will get the victory.
Items. She's got her iron sword and the shield.
That's my cue.
Leave it to me.
Assist for her all the way up here. We.
Let us away.
Actually, do we have her follow? No. Claude's on his own. Good luck,
Yeah.
Claude.
I noticed that he is far from everyone else.
No use. You will be slashed
Oh.
down. My heart is full of victory.
You know, it would be nice if you just had color sliders for, like, the primary color of a character's gear.
Oh,
That'd
so
be
you
really
customize
nice.
them? Mm-hmm. So we're fighting rogues and the wolves?
And a monster, yeah.
Yeah, and the wolf is also fighting off the rogues, so three-way
I'm
battle.
greater now.
It was a good try.
Still gonna take
I
him a
see.
little while. I love it when they can't do any damage. By the way, switched out her shield for that hex shield, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
asked.
For a hex shield, it looks rather round.
Yeah. Well, it's as in like hexes in magic.
Ah. But even the symbol for it seemed to show a hexagon. So,
Maybe.
Sorry.
so I thought that in
Victory is
addition to
mine.
warding off magic, it was also going to be that shape.
I see. It's all making sense now.
Okay, put away the rusted gauntlets. Build the advances. Who needs EXP here? Let's see. Where's got equip? Got his bow.
Now, has that wolf gathered power? Why is it glowing?
Yeah. I think it's actually been debuffed. Is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be stopping.
Out of here, rusted axe. Not sure what puts her in the danger zone. She should be fine there. Yeah, I think that's that guy. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, so I think
There we
of
go.
the people on the field, the only ones that we haven't heard about daddy issues from yet have been probably Leone, Dorothea.
Leone. Well, Leone has daddy issues.
Look at that.
I'm not setting
Yeah.
a very good example.
That skirt's having problems.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's on the wrong side of him, too.
Oh, it flipped all the way around his leg.
Oh, that's amusing. No, Leone absolutely has daddy issues. Namely,
What was
that
hers?
Geralt isn't her father.
Oh. Could you imagine being her real father, though? And having this man, this knight from another land. I wouldn't want to say sweep your daughter off her feet, because that's not the way it really went, but encouraged her to become a knight and train her, and then you're just cast aside.
And she runs off to the school. Chase after her dream of being
Being a mercenary, being a knight.
for this other guy. Yeah, I'd be a little crushed. I mean, it kind of depends. It's like I've definitely had people in my life. Wow, she does damage.
People in your life that would
Well, that
have
like
taken the role of your father?
no, people in my life that I definitely like. I idolized.
Mm-hmm.
That weren't just my dad.
I work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Which is there we go. Seraphim.
But what kind of people were they? Were they...
I mean, Brian Jacques, for example.
Oh, but that's the thing. That's not someone that you're interacting with.
No, that's fair.
Because Leone was actually being trained by Geralt.
True.
Doing my part.
Let's see.
Because I could imagine, yeah, idolizing a writer or a director or a filmmaker,
Never underestimate
comic
an
book
outsider.
artist. But without a correspondence or anything, it's just admiring their craft and perhaps who they are as a person. If I suppose you read their own autobiographies or interviews and you get to see things from their perspective and their opinions that align with your own. But she was under his tutelage, and it's just a completely different relationship.
It was a good try.
Okay. Let's see. Keep healing Claude up. He doesn't have the defense that some other characters have. I honestly might give him the Hex Shield. Just because his defense and resistance could use some work. It's not bad against some enemies. Some other enemies, not so much, though.
It's not luck, it's fate.
Weird, because in the past, beyond writing a letter that would probably never receive a response, or attending a local event or a signing or something along those lines, a talk akin to a you know, when they're on stage and they have a presentation and they're discussing a particular topic and such.
The fight continues.
People in the past didn't really have an opportunity to see their
Is this a
creative idols, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But now everyone has a social media account.
Feel slightly healed so that we can
There are
heal
people
them.
that definitely look up to athletes. Oh. What other individuals inspired my friends or family? Maybe some scientists. But it's interesting how there are so many people that you would never know of their achievements unless they created it into some kind of medium that people would enjoy watching.
Shall we dance?
Okay, does this get
Never
clawed up to
underestimate
30?
an outsider.
Yeah, it does.
I expected as much.
Not terrible.
Because how did Neil deGrasse Tyson become so famous or popular?
I
mean, obviously
wasn't
he's
he
a
like the head of NASA?
astrophysicist and stuff, right? Hmm?
Wasn't he like the head of NASA for some time? Unfortunately, he's become a bit of a dick lately.
Hmm.
So you know how there was the shooting down in El Paso, Texas, the other day?
Oh yeah, I think I do recall that he had said something about other statistics.
Well, yeah, he was posting statistics for other things that are also preventable, and that, like, you know, it's important to keep in mind that there are other things worth.
I think it was medical malpractice, car accidents.
Yeah, cancer, heart disease, like a bunch of other things that humans should also be working towards, like solving effectively.
Keep improving.
And it's just like absolutely true, but bit of a dick move.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing is, it seems as though so many private enterprises have had to try to instill change on their own.
Yep.
I know that you're enthusiastic about self-driving cars because of the
absolutely.
prospect that if machines were operating all the vehicles, then there would be a lack of human error, though I don't know. There have definitely been some glitches regarding the cars, and
Much appreciated.
humans are still required to at least moderate them, or not moderate, but to observe and to stay diligent in the
Yeah.
instance that they have
My
to
main
take the
thing
wheel.
is I just know enough people who are just like way worse drivers than like automated cars that it's, you know, everybody likes to say like, I don't want a robot behind the wheel because I don't trust it, but I'm like, I know drunk drivers. I've been stuck in their car. They're not uncommon.
And cancer is one of those things where it seems as though
Thank
every
you
day there's
so
studies
much.
about hundreds, if not thousands, of potential risks. And it's probably unavoidable to
Thanks so much.
ensure that all of them are absent from your lives. But also, it seems
I
like
have
much of it is
gratitude.
also just cells failing to replicate properly
Much
and
appreciated.
having that one gene or sequence turned off that would prevent them from Oh, I was just reading over there.
Let's see. Help him with axes? We might as well.
That would.
I suppose, in my opinion,
I learned.
and this is true with aging as
That was-
well,
Let's do
I
this.
almost feel as though to solve aging and to solve cancer, you would have to ensure that all of your cells replicate exactly without room for error.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're comprised of millions upon millions of cells, because aging, they say it's involved with telomeres and the ends of your genetic structure breaking off. And then with cancer, yeah, it's the... They're coded in such a way that they reproduce even when they're not supposed to. And that's how you get the tumors. Ah. At that point, though, you'd be pretty much unlocking capability of creating immortal beings.
I'm really good.
But I think it would be something that you'd have to encode in someone from birth. Which means that everyone that's already in existence probably wouldn't have that opportunity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I appreciate. Looks.
Trading all these characters up is time
I
consuming.
appreciate.
Would certainly be easier to have a super strong team in the future. Let's see, Lysithia. Reason and writing. At least for a little while. Let's see. We have that. She's on swords and bows. That should be fine. Claude's good. I think there was like one or two characters that I got and I was like, oh, I should probably change this. But every time I get to this stage, I totally forget. I almost kind of wish you could change their goals like mid-battle. Like just from an options menu. Whenever I'm like, oh yeah, this character should start working on this thing because... Oh yeah. So like, for example, everybody needs authority experience, probably. Later.
Professor.
Nope.
Oh, whose birthday is it gonna be? Felix.
Felix's birthday.
Oh, are you ready to host a tea party? I really like that deer. Those are majestic antlers.
Those are
Even
majestic
those are,
antlers.
Those would be very unruly.
I mean, it straight up just looks like Xerneas, honestly.
I really like Xerneas. Then again, I absolutely love deer. They're one of my favorite animals. When I was a child, definitely because of Bambi, I believe, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and such, I was just obsessed with deer. And for a while, I also had probably a big cat phase with Lion King and such. I think I like tigers specifically. Their markings were always very impressive. And then I had a wolf phase for years. Probably from middle school through high school.
Free Wolf Moon.
Yeah, I had 2 Three Wolf Moon shirts. And that was before I realized that there was a meme about them. I think I remember going to college and I wore one
Why am I
day.
here? Oh, that aroma.
And a guy...
My favorite tea.
What tea did he like?
Force Spice Blend.
I thank you. Hot. Yes.
So, someone you look up to, maybe?
Yep.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plans for the future? Is that what he likes?
Yep.
I see. Yes.
And I'm counting on you.
Yep.
I see. Spending time with you is not bad.
Laugh.
Impressive.
Perfect tea time with asshole. Observe. Nope. No interest.
Thanks for your hospitality. I hope you'll invite me again sometime.
We have tea timed.
What was I talking
Here's
about?
the result,
I was interrupted because of tea time.
I mean, we're talking about like cancers and
I think I
diseases
get it
and some
now.
other things.
I've got it. I'm really getting
Then
the
I was
hang of
talking about
this.
something else.
I'm
Oh yeah,
getting much better.
animals.
I'm starting.
Looks like I'm getting it.
Yeah,
I'm
so I
getting it.
had the 3 Wolf Moon shirt and wore it to college one day. And a guy on the dorm floor was just like, "You do realize what that is, don't you?" And I go, "No. Wait, what's wrong with this shirt? It's very pretty." I finally look up the 3 Wolf Moon meme, and it was all it was this guy had left a review on Amazon for the shirt saying that it was a chick magnet, and people had laughed about that. So was he implying that I was attempting to be a chick magnet by wearing 3 Wolf Moon?
Not really. It's just a dumb... I'm not going to say a meme, but...
The thing is, I had gotten these at, you know, the gift shops that they have in other states? It was from those shops.
Lance. Axe and flying.
But in any case, I think I've kind of come full circle, and I still really enjoy deer. They're just so graceful. And I love antlers. I find that animals with antlers and horns are quite impressive. Do you remember the bongo at the zoo?
Yeah.
That was very pretty. This was the zoo back in Kansas. The bongo are very large. They almost look like bodily. They look like what you would have if you crossed a deer with a cow, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, kind of.
Very long, straight horns. Or was there a curve to them or a curl? They were fairly straight, but they may have had a twist to them.
It was a spiral.
They did have
wasn't it?
spirals, maybe?
I think they did a spiral.
But they were still fairly straight. And they were sort of a russet red-brown with little cream stripes going up and down the sides of their body. And he was so cute. Traipsing about.
Oh, we should get the beanbag chair out in front of us as a footrest next time we play.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
'Cause that'd be nice.
That would actually be really nice. Yogibo!
Let's see. Wanna grab it right now?
Okay, I can grab the Yogibo.
Because I'm just gonna... but seminars only do a max of 6 students. Not really that helpful. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. Who needs what? Oh. I forgot I can give a seminar. Yep. What's up? I'll just hold it up while you get yourself situated. You died. Hate them. I don't think you did. Not quite as good as I was expecting it would be. It's better than what I was doing, though. Let's see. Do I train myself?
Oh, this is nice.
It is nice.
If you guys don't know what a Yogibo is, they're immensely large beanbags. And they're so comfortable.
They are pretty comfortable.
We got one that is, what, 6 feet long and about 2 feet wide. And it is plum purple. It is really comfy. So comfy, in fact, that you can sleep on it.
Yep. We've only done it a couple of times because we generally don't need to.